All right. I think we got it. I think we got it. Test, 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 test. All right. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me on YouTube now. I think we got it. Appreciate y'all bearing with me on TikTok. Thank y'all. Trust me, it'll be worth it. All right. Let me know if y'all can hear me on YouTube. Are you asking if someone is sleeping with the enemy person who is holding them back from success? However, you want to take that question, however, you want to, however, you internalize that question. My question to you all is today, are you sleeping with the enemy? YouTube, let me know. Can y'all hear me this time? Let me know if y'all can hear me on YouTube. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I got other things to do. All right, so I want to ask you all a question. Okay. Do you know the definition of trust? What if you aren't sleeping with anyone? Well, then that may be your viewpoint. That may be your viewpoint. Okay. Now, my topic tonight is are you sleeping with the enemy? See, so I was having a dialogue with the client, and they were giving me all of these considerations of reasons of why they couldn't do things. And the first thing that came to my mind was, oh, you're sleeping with the enemy. They were blaming everything on everybody. And I said, you're sleeping with the enemy. And then I said, what's the definition of trust? What's the definition of trust? Okay. And let me tell you what the definition of trust is. The definition of trust is firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me on YouTube. The definition of trust is firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. And so, as I started to break that down and decipher the definition of trust, and as I've been in this space for almost 20 years working with people, and I'm looking at two screens, I have YouTube here and I have TikTok here. One of the things that I'm learning is that most people don't trust themselves. See, most people have to realize that you're your own enemy. When I ask, are you sleeping with the enemy? I'm talking about you on TikTok, you on Facebook or Instagram or whatever this is, YouTube. You're the enemy. You don't trust yourself. You create counter intentions. You have very little belief in yourself. You know you're not reliable. You know you don't tell yourself the truth. You know the ability you lack when it comes to finance, economics. Do you even have the strength to endure the number of years it's going to take for you to have the total trust in self? See, once you learn that you're the enemy, you're the reason why you are where you are. See, there's something called an emotional scale. Okay. Let me tell you what this emotional scale looks like. And I know this firsthand because of where I once was on this journey in my life. I was on a journey where I created my own counter intentions because I didn't trust me. I didn't trust me. Let me read another definition for you. We're going to read a lot of definitions here today. Y'all might actually learn something today. You might actually learn something today. So, the first definition is apathy. The first word is apathy. 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 Somebody type that in the chat. And I'm going to go up this scale and I want you to figure out where you are. Are you at a place of apathy in your life? Okay? Apathy is lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. Do you even lack interest of fixing your financial situation? Let me show you some telltale signs. If you're 40, 50, 60, if you're 30, and you got to borrow $40, $50 from another grown up, you may be at a place of apathy. Why are you at a place of lacking interest for your own personal financial stability? Look, we got to start being honest with ourselves. Are you at a place of apathy? Do you lack interest in your own goals? Do you lack interest in your own wealth journey? I can tell you now, if you're not doing anything to exercise your path of wealth, you may be at a place of apathy. Apathy, apathy, lack of interest. Why is it? At what point did you give up? Honesty is in the vehicle to truth. Absolutely. At what point did you give up? See, once you start to realize that it's you, it's not the spouse that doesn't motivate you, that's your job. It's not society, it's not your boss, it's not your boo, it's you. Because you know how to get motivated to spend money. You know how to get motivated to do all of the things except when it comes to self-care. See, real self-care is healing the heart, the mind, and your bank account. That's real self-care. Because let me tell you something. You don't feel the self-care when your finances aren't in order. It's very hard to have self-care when your finances are not in order. Trust me, I've been there. So the first emotional tone is apathy. Are you at a place of apathy? Next is grief. Grief, deep sorrow. Do you feel sorry for yourself? Do you look around and say, whoa, it's me? How come I can't be on that trip? How come that's not me? How come I'm not rich? Oh, well, it's me. It's because I'm too short. It's because I'm not this. It's because I don't look like this. Stop having self-grief with self. Stop loathing with self. Or is that you just making excuses on why you can't be better? See, that's sleeping with the enemy. You don't trust yourself enough to where you gotta create grief of why you're not there. It's interesting because I'll talk with individuals about real estate and all of these things, and the first thing they like the immediately most people's trigger response. Well, when it comes to real estate, what if the property doesn't rent? What if this? What if that? What if this? I don't deal in that trajectory of counter intentions of my own goals. See, when you create these self doubts and self belief, you it's that you don't trust you. See, here's the thing that I've learned, and this is why I don't ever take things personal when people have an issue when it comes to doing business. See, it's not that people have a hard time doing, it's not that people don't always trust. Sometimes people don't trust themselves. See, they had to look themselves in the mirror and tell themselves, "Oh, I know I'm not going to do the work." That's grief. And unfortunately, a lot of people are there right now, especially in this economic climate. I get it. We've dealt with financial trauma from redlining to housing market crash to the pandemic. But are you going to keep using that as an excuse? You're mourning your own financial ruin. The next one is sympathy. The next one is sympathy. Let's look up the definition of sympathy. Okay. Let's look up the definition of sympathy. Feelings of pity and sorrow, misfortune. See, unfortunately, some of you cause your own bad luck. Let me give you an example. You've told yourself so much that things aren't going to go right, things don't go right. And I'm going to go over a list of 5 things that proves to you that you're the enemy you're sleeping with. Most of you are have created sympathetic symptoms for yourselves. Let me give you all some advice. I do not deal with people who I feel sorry for because they hurt you the most. They take advantage of you the most. Got to the live in the knowing. And they're entitled the most. I don't deal with people who I feel sorry for. I don't keep that type of energy around me. And if you want to grow as a being, if you want to grow as an individual, if you want to grow on this journey, because whether you want to believe it or not, most people are depressed because of their finances. Let's just call it what it is. You're mad because you can't go on that trip. You can't pay your bills in full. You can't drive the car you want to drive. We have to start being honest with ourselves. And when we talk about energy and frequency, like I don't deal with people who create this dark cloud of sympathy. I don't deal with people who I feel sorry for. I just can't. They are going to hurt you, and they're going to take advantage of you, and they are going to be ungrateful. But because you allowed that, you're the enemy to yourself. Next emotional scale or, or emotional tone, fear. Let me read the definition of fear. An unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous. Let me ask you all a question. What is fearful about taking a risk of your goals? I just want to know. It's a legitimate question. What is fearful about you going after your goals? Because here's the reality. I've never heard nobody say, well, what if I go to school and I can't get a job in the field? It reminds me of this comedian I just listened to the other day, where he talked about how he went to school with a bunch of people who went to school for engineering and now they all drive for DoorDash. It's like, why do we create these counter intentions and we speak fear to our existence? We created that. Why? I want somebody to give me a response to that. Why do we create fear for ourselves? We can't keep saying it's the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but yet you still wake up and go to work, you leave the house, you go to club. We go to dangerous establishments every single day. So we can't say we're scared of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So what is it that we're fearful of? What is so unknown about our goals? That's a question. Someone said they're fearful of failure. If you're not where you want to be, you're already failing. So we can't keep using that as an excuse. Somebody give me something else. Y'all can start making stuff up too. That's fine. Because that's what we do. We run out of excuses so much. We just start making up stuff. I'm scared of losing everything. I'm scared of success. I'm scared of failure. I'm scared of the boogeyman. I'm scared of this. Like, not all you're doing all those things anyway. You unsure what to do. That's why you go get instructions. Look, I'm gonna have a rebuttal for everything. I know for me it's homelessness. Well, you only can become homeless when you do things that don't make sense. See, when I shared my story about how I became homeless when I moved to Las Vegas, that was my fault. It wasn't because of fear. It was because all of the money I made, I spent it. Let me tell y'all something. Everything that you go through is your fault. When I was working in my early 20s and I was making X amount of dollars, I think at one point my salary capped off at like, I was making maybe like $47,000 a year in 1997 all the way to 2003. Had no bills, no real bills. My rent was $375 a month. I split my rent with my cousin. We had a place, we were paying $750 a month for rent for a 2-bedroom, had underground parking, the whole nine. Now, when I lost that job and I was there 7 years, when that job shut down, I had no money in my savings account. That was my fault. I had no money in my savings, but I had all of the numbered Jordans. I had all of the Guess jeans. I had the Tommy Hilfiger. Like I had all of I had all of the fly clothing, but no money in savings. I had a big screen TV. I was getting a new car every other year. I had all of that stuff, but I had no money in the savings account. I didn't have any investments. I didn't invest in a 401k. I didn't invest in a Roth IRA, even though I had spoken to someone at 18 and at 24. If I would have invested from 18 to 24, I would have at least had a decent amount that could have got me through. So when someone says, I'm scared of fear, I'm fearful of failure to become homeless. If that is the case, then you don't trust yourself with money. You don't trust yourself that you're going to go out there and make it go right. You don't trust yourself that you're going to do the right thing. You don't trust yourself that you're going to get the information and actually go and apply it and execute on it. So that's your fault. When I was homeless, that was my fault. And when I was 26, I didn't call my parents and ask to borrow some money. I didn't ask my friends to borrow money. I didn't go around begging people saying, man, come on, you're supposed to have my back. Well, nobody's supposed to put me on as a grown man. I slept with the enemy for that entire time, and then I put myself in that uncomfortable position. But let me tell you something. I'm glad I went through that because that rock bottom taught me something, that I was resilient and that I had grit. So get out of the emotion of fear. Fear is why you're going to always be where you are today. And I've had people who I met with, yeah, I'm gonna get out of fear. And then a year later, they still in the same position. Oh, you don't trust yourself. See, only you can answer these questions. I'm fine. Whether you tell yourself the truth or not, I'm still gonna buy real estate. I'm still gonna travel the world. I'm still gonna do all of the things. But you gotta look yourself in the mirror. Because see, here's another thing. And I highly recommend you go back and watch my video about money as an illusion. You can make money and still be broke. Because guess what? Because you don't own anything, you have to work forever. And guess who usually was the one that got in their own way, who said, oh, I'm fine. You told yourself you was fine because you were making money. And then you look up and you have nothing. And then you got to keep working and you got to keep working. And then you have to keep working and you have to keep working. And next thing you know, you're at a place of apathy and you just kept repeating this cycle from apathy to grief to sympathy to fear, all because you told yourself you were okay. Let me read the next emotional tone. The next one is covert hostility. Covert hostility. Oh, we're going to touch some nerves here today. A hidden hostility that can be expressed in subtle ways. I remember going around my friends and family as I started doing good. Oh, I see you got your little credit repair business. That's covert hostility. Oh, I see you doing your little real estate thing. No, my real estate thing paid me six figures a year for doing nothing. Oh, I see you got your little houses. No, I got a seven-figure real estate business. See, I'll correct you in a heartbeat. I don't deal with that covert hostility. Oh, I see you got your little business going on. This business done been paying me seven figures for the past 7 years. Oh, you got your little this and your little that. No, I correct people. Maybe you should start doing that to yourself. Stop telling yourself, "Oh, I'm gonna start this little business." No, it's a big business. Oh, I'm gonna set up this little LLC. That's why everything you get is diminished because you think everything is little, that you've quantified everything to shrinkage because of your own counter intentions. That's why you don't have nothing. And then you have people around you who speak nothingness into you. See, people who feel sorry for you speak nothingness into you. Let me say that again. People who feel sorry for you, or people who you feel sorry for speak nothingness into you because that's how they see themselves. See, they're at a place of apathy. That's why I don't have people around me. So I'm also teaching you all this emotional scale so you know what to look for. You know who to trust. Because you may be in this category, which means you don't trust yourself. Let me read the definition of trust again. Firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength in someone or something. Do you not trust yourself? That's why you're not where you want to be. Thank you for the roses. You've created, you've done covert hostility within yourself, and you accept it from other people. Let me tell you the next one. Anger. Anger. Let's read the definition of anger. A strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. You wake up mad because you see everybody else on the internet. You think they're doing good. You're mad at yourself because of the opportunity you missed out on. That's your fault. You're mad at yourself because you should have fixed your credit 3 years ago. Look, America's on sale right now. Let me give y'all some reality. You should be mad at yourself because you had a chance to work on your credit, to get your funding, to learn how to buy real estate. But no, you wanted to travel, you wanted to trick, you want to trick and travel. You should be angry at yourself right now because you wanted to trick and travel. You wanted to trick off all of that free money you got. You want to trick off all of that credit you had access to. You want to trick off all of the golden opportunities and you wanted to travel. So you should be angry right now. Now, luckily, I'm gonna teach you how to get out of these stages. But you want to trick and travel. That's your fault. It's your fault why you still don't own anything. It's your fault why you don't have any assets. It's your fault why you're upside down in that vehicle. Look, if you bought a car in the past 3 years, I know you upside down. If you have a Toro business, if you went out there to buy your dream car so you could drive it for free to put it on Toro, you upside down. You should be angry. If you got PPP money and you're in a worse financial position right now, you should be angry. If you don't went out there and got a bunch of credit, but now you got bad credit, you should be angry right now because you want the trick and travel. That's your fault. Let me tell you the next stage. This one's going to be a good one. Antagonist. Antagonist. Have you created antagonism with your own goals? Let me give you the definition of antagonism. Okay. Active hostility. Active hostility. Let me tell you the definition of hostility. Because a lot of the times we're using words and we don't even know the definition. We just use them. Unfriendliness is hostility. Unfriendliness. You are your own antagonist to your goals, to your counter intention, to your like you've created considerations to your own goals, meaning you will come up with any excuse. Let me ask you a question. Why is the first excuse you come up with on why you aren't where you want to be or why you're scared to go after things is the first thing you default to is fear? Let me prove something to everybody. I can almost guarantee you, just like the great Charles Barkley say, almost everything that you think about is an auto response. I can have a conversation with you and I can tell you what your answer is before you even tell me. Most people have auto responses for everything in their life. Everything. It's fear. I'm scared of failure. Like it's like we just figure it, we just make up stuff. Nobody taught me. It's my mama. It's my daddy. My spouse didn't support me. It's this, it's that. Most of that is your fault. Most of that is your fault. We create these auto responses, this programming, this conditioning. We've created these all. We've become AIs of our own selves. We don't upgrade our own software. We still operating on information from our parents. And let me tell you about that. Very unpopular opinion. Our generation is suffering because the generation before us failed us miserably. See, Big Mama and Pawpaw owned land. Big Mama and Pawpaw owned real estate. Our parents sold it. Our parents lied to us. Our parents told us to go to college and do all these things and created fear in us and told us we can't do this. They tried to live their dreams through us. We're living out our parents' dreams. And as a result of that, guess what's happening? We people are grown people have to now take care of their parents. That shouldn't be our responsibility. Well, I'm not talking about my situation. I'm just saying we as a whole. Like, you should not be taking care of your parents. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, that's the reality. So think about think about that level of poverty that's being passed down to you. If you're taking care of your parents, is as bad as this may sound, we got to start telling ourselves the truth. As bad as this may sound, you that is a pipeline to poverty, because generally most people don't change that. People are having kids just to say, "Oh, I want somebody to take care of me when I get older." That's a passed down poverty mindset. We're like, "Oh, I'm taking care of my parents. I need my kids to take care of me." You don't trust yourself. You're at apathy. You're at grief. You sympathize. You've already counted yourself out before you even get to the promised land of your financial promised land. You've created sympathy within yourself. You've created fear. You're angry. You've created covert hostility against yourself. Let me give you all some points that show you that you're sleeping with the enemy, which is yourself. Number one, self-sabotage in disguise. Sometimes the greatest obstacle to success are the ones we don't see clearly. Those internal habits, those thoughts that quietly sabotage our progress. See, procrastination is self-sabotage. You know you need to get up. You know you ain't made them phone calls. You know you didn't go to the gym for a week. You know you tricking and traveling. You know you shouldn't be watching TV. You know you shouldn't be doing that. Procrastination is self-sabotage. Making bad decisions, financial bad decisions. What you need another purse for? You don't need another new car. Matter of fact, you should be downgrading the one you have. Oh, you know what you're doing. Again, we use these auto responses. I procrastinate. I'm fearful. I'm this. I'm that. I'm that. Like we come up with all of these things. But then we rap the lyrics to songs. I'm a bad B. I'm that NIG. Like we tell ourselves all of these things, but then when it comes time to be that, we're not that. Self sabotage. Self sabotage. Comfort zones are the silent killers. We tend to stay where it's familiar. Going back to when I said making money is not having money. That just means you work really hard. See, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. Working hard is at the bottom of the totem pole over learning information. See, the reason why I say our generation before us failed us because they told us hard work is going to pay off. No, learning the information and executing on what we learned and working hard at the new information is what pays off. But then you lie to yourself and think you working hard. It reminds me of the people who go rent an office just to say they got a business. And then they shuffle papers all over their desk just to say they're busy. And then they go out there and say they're grinding just to make it look like they're movement. See, a lot of you are moving and you're not moving. Your life is on a treadmill. You're running fast on a treadmill and you're not going anywhere. Believe it or not, some of you are comfortable being stationary. See, sometimes bones only get stronger because they break. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. But see, here's the thing, too, even with our lives, even where you are today, you think it's comfortable, but it's not. Let your boss cut your hours. Ain't nothing comfortable about where you at right now. Get an unexpected loss in wages. Ain't nothing uncomfortable about that. See, our mind has conditioned us to think that comfortable is comfortable when your level of comfortable is not comfortable. Your brain just told you that. And then you come up with things and just say, oh, well, I'm a procrastinator. Oh, I'm tired, or I'm this. Like, you're not even willing to try to figure out what you got to do. Well, sometimes you're just going to have to do stuff tired. I'm on a flight every week. Yeah, I'm tired at times, but I'm fine with that because I find comfort in being uncomfortable to get to that next level. When you work out, yes, it's going to hurt. It's uncomfortable. Well, that's because you ain't been working out. Well, when you work out, the pain is only, you only feel the pain during the actual movement. But when you don't work out, you feel the pain a lot longer. Same thing when it comes to building your finances. Well, when you're executing on the things, the pain is mental. The pain are the no's. The pain is still being in your situation, but you can see the finish line at the end of the road or at the end of the race. But it's still going to be painful, but the pain doesn't linger as long when you don't when you just try to come out because you've been sitting on the sideline because you've been telling yourself you're a procrastinator. No, you're not a procrastinator because you do the stuff you really want to do. Let somebody come online right now and say, hey, everybody who got a cash app, I can drop $6,000 in your account. You'll figure out how to go set up a cash app, but can't figure out how to go set up an operating agreement. You know how to figure out all of the things that don't mean nothing except the things that mean something. No, you're not a procrastinator. You've created covert hostility within yourself. I bet you I can get on live. I can go on TikTok right now and find somebody who is openly teaching people how to set up CPNs and go get apartments under fake social security numbers. And it's 1,000 people on those lives. Why? Because people don't trust themselves with people don't trust themselves with them. So they got to go and create a whole fake identity to live life. People so used to being fake, they expect fakeness out of everybody else. You pump fake with your goals, you pump fake with your family, you lie to yourself and your friend. Like people, this is like the norm. This is why people keep getting tricked by fluff on the internet, because they used to lying to themselves. So they attracted to people who lie. Oh yeah, I can make a millionaire tomorrow. Yeah, you attracted to that because that's who you are. You lie to yourself. So your ears are the frequency that you hear, or the frequency you are drawn to, are other liars. You want people to lie to you. You want people to tell you all of the things that align with your apathy. You want people to lie to you that align with all of your grief financially. You want people to align with all of your financial sympathy. That's why you keep getting caught up in these money scams. Some of that's your fault. Just like when I was homeless, that was my fault. I blew all my money on Jordans and tricking and trips and Red Lobster cheddar biscuits. I created that fear. I was going to the casino. I remember one time I got my tax refund, and I thought I was gonna to win more money. So I played my entire tax refund. I think I got back like $1,400, and I'm playing $25 a hand on 5 spots, and I lost all of that within like 7 minutes. Let me ask y'all a question. Okay. Let me ask y'all a question. When's the last time you won life-changing money gambling? $1,500 on a sports betting ticket, that ain't no money. A $700 sports betting ticket win, that ain't no money. $3,000 at the blackjack table, that ain't no money. Even $15,000 at the blackjack table. You want to know why they ain't no money? Because you 9 times out of 10, you got more than $15,000 to $20,000 worth of debt already. They ain't no life-changing money. But you will continue to keep feeding that thing. You ain't scared to gamble. So when you tell me you scared to go and learn how to do real estate, but you ain't scared to gamble, who you lying to? Who are you lying to? You will take a stranger out, but you scared to invest in yourself? You about to invest in somebody, go on a dinner, a date, taking them out of town. You don't know if you're gonna make it home. So you mean to tell me you're not fearful of people in this time, but you're scared to invest in you? You're being an antagonistic to yourself. Unconscious alliances with limiting beliefs. We all have beliefs that guide our decisions, but not all of them serve us well. Most people make bad decisions with their money. Most people don't know how much they make. They don't know how much their expenses are. They think making money is going to solve their problem. Go ask them people at Walmart who working at 60 and 70 and 80 was making money the solvent to their problems because they didn't own anything. Go ask why that 80-year-old who's checking off your receipt at Walmart, no disrespect, but I can assure you that's not what they planned on doing. It was because they had an unconscious alliance with their limited belief. They didn't make the proper investments, or they was helping their grandkids co-sign for vehicles, and the grandkids went out there and blew it off. That's why I don't help people who I feel sorry for. I don't care what the story is. So now you got Paul working at Home Depot in the lumber section because that's the closest he feels he can get to real estate, because Lil John ruined his credit and didn't want to pay the bill on the Impala that he went and financed. Another one, we're scared of defeat. We're scared of defeat. So now I'm going through a very difficult real estate transaction right now. One that most people would have quit and walked out on. Defeat doesn't scare me because I'm always going to figure out how to make things go right. See, you're failing because you give up on everything. But you don't give up on chasing somebody when it comes to sex. You don't give up on when it comes to a money scam. You don't give up on things that you think are pleasurable. Let me put it that way. But when it comes to things that will actually serve purpose in your life long term, you give up on all of those things, and then you come up with the procrastination, consideration, the fear, the failure. Like, you come up with all of these things, but you will be in that young lady inbox for 23 months. Hello, beautiful. Good morning, beautiful. Hello, beautiful. Bro, she blocked you. You 7 pages in. You done made 7 pages and still saying hello, beautiful. If you put that same in if you put that same energy in your goals, boy, you would be a monster. I have a sister and cousins, and I'd see the DMs y'all fellas be sending them. Last, sometimes your most dangerous critic is the one in the mirror. When you look in the mirror, do you like what you've created, whether it's physically or financially? See, only you know you. See, you can get on this app and lie to the world. That's the almost becoming to be the point of social media. You have to create a fictitious life on the internet just to feel good. But when you turn that app off and you log off and you close your eyes and go to sleep, you know the real you. You know you don't own that house you standing in front of. You know you don't own that car you posted in front of. You know what your bank account look like. You know you don't really own no real estate. You know you're trying to sell credit, but you got a 500 credit score. Are you sleeping with the enemy? And unfortunately, that enemy may be you. And most of the time, the enemy is you. And you're sliding down the emotional scale because of you've created all of these fake these fake levels of consciousness of excuses, fear, failure, this, all of that. But you want to do all of the you want to do all of the fun things in life, but you don't want to do the things it takes to fund the fun things. See, initially I was gonna come in here and talk about real estate and all of that, but I was like, you know what? No, they need some of the intangibles tonight because a lot of y'all sleeping with the enemy, and then you wonder why you ain't getting nowhere, or you wonder why you won't get nowhere, and you wonder why you will never get nowhere until you change those things. See, my job isn't to come on here and convince y'all of what I do that works, because one of the things that I know is that everything that I show people is being done by the affluent. See, only broken minded and poor people are questioning everything of what doesn't work. See, when you don't trust yourself, you question whether you're going to work, not whether the concept works. Because how can you question does credit in real estate and all of that works? It's been working before you were born. The whole system in the United States was set up on everything that I'm teaching you, but you're failing because you don't want to listen to it because you're in your own way. You're sleeping with the guilt and the anger and the antagonism and the covert hostility that you created within yourself. I don't have to convince you to go get some credit to buy real estate. It's been working. I've been showing you it's been working. The affluents have been showing you it's been working. Not one hedge fund buys real estate using their own money. What is it that you need to be convinced about? Oh, you don't have the money? Well, is it that you don't have the money to learn this because you've been tricking and traveling? That's your fault. Is it because you don't want to cut your expenses? Is it because you haven't created a budget? Is it because you rather have the Dior's and the shoes and the purses and the backpacks and that's your fault? I don't feel sorry for people who create counter intentions with their goals and are not willing to do the necessary work. Because if that girl who you've been chasing for 27 months give you a chance, you're going to figure out a way how to come up with money for a date. For my ladies, if that dream vacation come up, or that you can get that Hermes purse for 90% off, you will figure it out if purses is your thing. Half the time, I'm gonna speak to my fellas, half the time after them 27 months and she do give you a chance, you fumble it anyway. You fumble it anyway because you ain't even ready. So you begging for something that you can't even handle. Just like when it comes to life, you begging for success and you begging for money and you begging for financial freedom, you couldn't handle it anyway. That's why you need to learn this part of the game. I'm giving you all foundational things tonight. Then you wonder why she in the group chat talking about you. She like, look, this man been chasing me for 33 months and his credit messed up. Come on, we got to do better, y'all. That enemy that I'm talking about that you're sleeping with, it's you. It's you. It's you. It's you, fam. It ain't your spouse. Stop blaming it on them. It ain't your mama. It ain't your daddy. It ain't the media. It's not politics. It's not the presidential candidates. It's you. It's you. Half the stuff that goes on in the economy from a political standpoint, It's not even applicable to most people because you don't participate in nothing. You don't own nothing. So a lot of the stuff don't even is not even applicable to you. You weren't about Diddy party. You ain't never been invited. You ain't never been invited to Diddy party. Why we having whole social media dissertations? And if you was there, you should have did something about it. So with that being said, let's go out. I'm gonna go live again at least two more times this week because we got some work to do as humans. It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's not an Asian thing. It's not a Hispanic thing. This is a human thing. People are hurting financially. Humans in all ethnic backgrounds and all communities. But we gotta do better. We gotta want more, and we gotta stop sleeping with that individual on our shoulder who've been telling us that we're not great. We were all born geniuses and all of that. And so, with that being said, thank you. You're welcome. Thank y'all for hopping on. So, I appreciate y'all. Let's go out there. Let's have a great week. This is the last quarter of the year. Look, you got some work to do. I know you don't want to go into 2025 saying this is my year again. You've been saying that for 10 years. You've been saying this is my year for the past 10 years, and every year your year get worse. So let's break that cycle. All right. And stop faking like you're a procrastinator. No, you don't believe in yourself. Thank you for the rose, Katina. Thank you for the rose. Roses. Thank you. So appreciate y'all. Y'all run them that TikTok algorithm up. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.